All right, welcome to Voodoo Chronicles. I am Wunam, your African Indigenous traditional healer, and today we got another special guest who's going to share her Voodoo Chronicles with us. Yemoya.
My name is Yemoya. I wanted to share that when I was a little bitty girl, at the age of between 5 and 7, I would say, I would always watch my grandmother. She would always keep me all the time with my auntie Alma, my auntie Annie Mae, and my cousin Thisha. And people would always come to her home, and they would get this special type of soup that my grandmother would cook because she would put her spirit inside of the soup to help heal people when they were sick, when they had colds, they had sinuses or allergies or something. And these people would come to my aunt's house because my grandma stayed with my aunt. And they would get this soup. And once they got this soup, it would help cure them, heal them. And so I would always remember her, and she would always wear light colors, like white or light blue colors. And she was very spiritual. I knew she had a lot of powers because she was always taking care of me from a little girl. Even from a little girl, I used to go to this special daycare. And I had a certain type of friends that I could only be around, which was Stephanie and Staretta. It was a sanctified church. And we used to go, and they would always keep me and Stephanie and Staretta away from the other different kids. And sometimes I would cry about it because they wouldn't allow us to go and play with the other children until I found out one day. And my mom said, well, they're taking care of you for a reason, baby. Don't worry about it. I said, okay. But back to my grandmother, she was very powerful. She was a very powerful lady.
So when you say she put her spirit in the soul, you're saying she put like her inyama, her energy into it.
Into the
which
soup.
made the soup powerful.
Yes.
To heal whoever ate the soup.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Exactly. That's what she would do. And a lot of people would call her. And then, like, when we would go to church sometimes, she's my great-great-grandmother, which her name was Molly Hill. And also my father's mother, which is Olive Ruth Wyatt, my grandmother. She did the same thing from my grandmother. So my grandmother would do the soup and the medicines and the herbs, and then my great-great-grandmother, but then my grandmother would do all of the cooking of the cakes and the pies. And when she did the cakes and the cookies of the pies, she would put her spirit in it.
So they would pray over it?
They would pray over it, and people would always order my grandmother's cakes and pies, and we'd be like, Grandma making a whole lot of money. We don't understand what's going on, you know. And then she had this special type of double Dutch, we would say, sweet potato souffle. Oh my God. Everybody was in line for that sweet potato souffle. It was so marvelous. It was so good. And my grandmother, she would just cook a whole lot of cakes and pies. And then my other great-great-grandma, she would do the medicines and make the strategic soups. And then when we would go to church, everybody would just be around my grandmothers like that. So I knew that they were special. And they had special gifts.
Yeah, very spiritual gifts too. Pray over some stuff, and that's one of the things we do with our in African traditions. We pray over. So they just was bringing it back from Africa. You know what I mean? Right back down, praying over stuff and making it more powerful, using your inyama, or as some say, ashe, to do that. Wow.
Yes.
Interesting story. Okay.
And even my great-great-grandmother, she gave me a special ritual to help heal people. So I had to write it down. She gave it to my daughter first, and then my daughter told me, and I had to write it down through the spirit because she was talking through my daughter, and then my daughter told me. So I wrote the recipe down, and she told me that was going to be one of the healing medicine recipes for me to help and heal people.
Really? What you mean to tell me you ain't bring that recipe with you today?
No.
You got everybody over here sniffling and doing
I didn't bring it, but I wrote it down. It has a lot of stuff in it that, you know, we be talking about. And I was like, you know, but it's passed down from my great-great-grandmother.
Okay.
And she wanted me to use it to help heal people.
Okay.
And that's when I found out, once I found out that I was a healer, and then that's when she gave the recipe to my daughter to give it to me. So I'm like, okay, well, that's why grandmother passed that to
Right,
me,
to you,
because,
right.
yeah, to help
Okay.
heal people.
Okay, so there you have it. Another Voodoo Chronicle. You understand? Story, y'all. All right, well, we want to thank Yemoya for joining us here on Voodoo Chronicles Day. And we ask that you come back again and tell us some more great
I
stories,
will.
okay? All right, thank you for tuning in, family, to Voodoo Chronicles. We'll see you soon.